Hello, one and all. Welcome back, I suppose, to FPL Mate, the great game that is FPL, the painful game, the game we all know and love and hate. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. Um, uh, it's back. It is finally back after all of this time. It feels like it's been forever since we since anything happened. Since anything happened in the world of FPL. I mean, obviously we've been checking out the FA Cup and what that means for FPL, but honestly, it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since we last got to actually get involved and get stuck in and play some FPL. So we are back. Finally. Finally. We are also in the new setup. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the room has changed. Everything has changed. We now have a football, so we can have a little kickabout during these streams. Why not? We got a football shirt hanging up over there. We can change that out for anything, really. Any football shirt that is relevant this week. I don't know if I have any relevant football shirts that might be applicable. Maybe an Arsenal shirt this week. We're all thinking about Arsenal players. But I think everything's looking good. Still a few things to add. Also, I have a whiteboard. This could be fun. Don't know how we're going to use it yet, but I think that could be pretty interesting, however we end up using that. So we'll see. Maybe we can write messages on there. That's probably a good idea. Maybe we can write super chats on there and hang it up down there. That's the plan. I want it to hang down there. Could be good. Don't you ever change the Bruce Banana shirt? Well, what if we get another cool shirt? Do we want to swap it out for a bit? Might have to be done. Anyway, a couple of super chats straight away. Kundari says, got Saka on wildcard from Parma and want to reverse it. You can reverse it if you want. You're on a wildcard. You can make as many transfers as you want. I think I would probably prefer to have Saka in the long run. But you can maybe take Parma temporarily, potentially, and then look to switch back to Saka later. I mean, for the record, I think Palmer could do better this week than Saka. I don't expect Saka to just suddenly come back and hit the ground running. I mean, it could happen, sure, but it's a lot of pressure on him to come back straight away and do the business. But I guess we'll see what happens there. But I think I would... Depends. It depends. If you're happy to make a transfer later to bring in Saka, then Palmer is absolutely fine to go for the wild card. But I think Saka is also good on a wild card as well. Paredes says, hey, mate, welcome back. And I hope you had a great time on your vacay. Yes, we were in Scotland for the vacation. I'm still owning the stupid assistant manager chip. Leading to wildcard 30, assistant manager 31. Unless you think of something else, I need to attack. That's certainly what I would do. I would wildcard now and use my assistant manager for game week 31. If I had an assistant manager, that's definitely what I would do. And I would save the bench boost for later on in the season. Because if I'm looking at the bench boost at the moment, it doesn't look that hot. Even on game week 33, it doesn't look that great. I mean, it's all right, but you know, it's nowhere near as good as we were hoping that the bench boost would be, as powerful as it could be. So, yeah, I think it's fine to save that bench boost for another week. Could be game week 36, potentially, if that turns out to be a double, which I think it will. Difficult to say who will double in 36, but yeah, good chance of a double there. So, yeah, that's what I would do if I had assistant manager. I would wildcard now, and I would assistant manager next. Just make sure, if you are on a wildcard, you are saving one of your slots for the manager. So if you want a Crystal Palace manager, you can only pick 2 Crystal Palace players on your wild card. If you want a Newcastle manager, you can only pick 2 Newcastle players, etc., etc. You know the drill. Leet Crew says, can you try and convince me to captain Marmouche? Thanks. I mean, I can try. I can try and convince you. I guess it's the best differential captain. I would certainly say that. Like, if you want to go different, you don't want to go for a boring old Salah, then yeah, I think Marmouche is definitely the guy I would go for instead. On penalties, most likely, we know he's a set piece taker as well. Be playing as the central striker with Haaland out, and also Leicester are so bad. They are worse. I know people are saying like, oh, Crystal Palace players, you've got to have them against Southampton away from home. Leicester are a worse team, and it's a home fixture for Man City. So Marmouche just coming off a bit of a rest. Still scored in that game, but a bit of a rest in the FA Cup. And Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to attack, and it's certainly something that I'm considering doing myself. That's probably a bad sign, knowing my fortunes with FPL this year. But yeah, no, it's certainly something to consider. And yeah, Salah's just a bit boring, isn't it? But you know, if Haaland was the guy, we'd all be all about Haaland, wouldn't we? But you know, you could argue that Marmoush is in even better form than Haaland at the moment. You could certainly make a strong case for that. So yeah, I like Marmoush captain. I do like it. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it myself because I'm also already taking some risks. But yeah, it's a consideration for sure. A lot of people talking about Cliver in the chat. Do I need to? Have I added this to the ticker yet? If not, I need to do that now. We need to put Cliver and Wood news in the ticker. Okay, Clivert is a doubt due to fatigue. So this is a situation, and also Chris Wood. What's the situation with Chris Wood? Is like day by day. Uh, is also doubtful. But Wood is very doubtful. Very doubtful. I wouldn't just expect him to play, right? That's all in. Okay, so Cliver, Justin Cliver, what's going on there? Well, I just watched a video from a reporter actually who was in the interview, and it seems like Cliver, there's no injury. So there's no injury there for Cliver. It's more fatigue. And, you know, he's played a lot of games this season, and obviously last weekend, just the weekend just gone, just played in the FA Cup against Man City in that full game there. So he's played a lot of minutes this season generally, far more than really he has done in a Bournemouth shirt, certainly, becoming kind of a star player for this Bournemouth side. So he's not injured, but he is fatigued. And I think that's where it's at. And because of that fatigue, it might be that this Ipswich game is an opportunity for him to be rested. But I don't think he is like definitely out. Like, there's nothing to suggest he's definitely going to be out. Obviously, Bournemouth have dropped some points recently. They still are looking for European football, and they are going to need to win some games. They are going to need to turn around their fortune, particularly after that FA Cup exit. So I still think there is a good chance that Kluivert does start. However, if he doesn't start, I also think he has got a fairly good chance of staying on the bench if Bournemouth are, you know, dominating Ipswich, which could well happen. You know, we're probably expecting some goals in this game from Bournemouth. Bournemouth, great attacking team. Ipswich have been conceding as well. So it's an interesting one. Kluivert is not safe. He's certainly not safe anymore, but I don't think he is absolutely out. Right now, I am leaning towards starting him, but I am in a fortunate position where I do have bench cover. If you don't have bench cover, you know, and you've got Kluivert and you've also got maybe Chris Wood in your team, maybe you've got a few other players who are a little bit doubtful, then this could be a sign that it is time to hit the wildcard button if you've got a few of these kind of players. So if you're on a wildcard, I probably wouldn't go for Kluivert now. If you're not on a wildcard but you have Kluivert, I think he's okay to keep as long as you have one player on your bench who you're comfortable with. Is Kluivert to Bruno a good shout? I don't think I would be making that move. No, not personally. Will Dango play versus Ipswich? Well, this is the next question, really. I think there's a very good chance that Dango does come in and play because obviously Tavernier is also injured. So I think we could see a slight switch up with Dango coming in, playing on the wing. Or maybe be Dango on the left, Brooks on the right, and maybe we might see Semenyo in the central area behind Evan Nilsson. I think there's a good possibility that that is the way Bournemouth line up if Kluivert were to not play. But at the same time, I don't think Kluivert is a write-off yet. I really don't. So I don't think we can suddenly assume that Dango is going to play. So again, Dango is another one of those risky players that if you have too many of these risky players, then again, maybe it is a sign to wildcard. As long as you haven't used your free hit chip yet. But that's also a big factor. If you've free hitted already this season, then a wild card becomes a little bit more difficult. But you know, we've got plenty of time before deadline. So if you do want to take a look at the chip strategy video that I made on Monday, was it yesterday? Yeah, well, that came out yesterday. then that's super relevant. That's going to be super relevant for the rest of the week now, all the way until the Game Week 31 deadline, most likely. So, yeah, do go check that one out if you want kind of more on chip strategy stuff. But we'll do our best to answer this kind of thing in here as well, in this here chat. So, we've got a couple more super chats here. So, Paul says, was planning on a wildcard Game Week 31, but Haaland, Kluivert, and Wood out is making me consider going early. Have you not put any thought into a wildcard yet, though? I put loads of thought into a wildcard. I made 2 drafts for the video that came out this morning. So, yeah, there's been a lot of thought for me as well. I'm in a slightly different situation for my team, whereby I did have Haaland, but, I swapped Haaland for Marmoush today. Kluivert is a slight doubt. Had Hudson-Odoi on the bench as well. But yeah, the wild card is certainly a consideration, and we are going to be having a look at that very, very soon. We've not even moved on to the team selection screen of this stream. We are so early in the stream that we've not even moved off my face for some reason. There's over 1,000 of you guys here though, which is absolutely amazing. If you guys are new around here, do feel free to stick around until the deadline if you have the time. We're going to be answering loads of questions, talking about Game Week 30 in a lot of detail, and of course chip stuff, strategy stuff, wildcard stuff, everything you need to know. So do consider sticking around, subscribe if you'd like to as well, and like as well. If you wouldn't mind liking the stream, that is massively appreciated. We've had a big upgrade to the stream, as we kind of mentioned earlier. Big upgrade. Everything's looking beautiful. So, yeah, the support is massively appreciated because we've been investing. We've been investing in some new equipment and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, Paul, yeah, in your situation, it might be a wise idea to hit that wildcard button. It seems like you're getting towards that. Kundari here says, start Saka or Murphy? I think I would probably start Saka, to be honest. Penalty taker, obviously top player. I think Murphy is a useful, cheap asset, but he's not Saka. Let's be totally real here. Even Saka just coming back from injury. And, I think Brentford, even at home for Newcastle, is not the easiest of fixtures right now, to be honest. So there we go. Does Kluivert need to go? Nope. He needs to go if you're on a wild card. Well, he doesn't even need to. He should probably go if you're on a wild card. But if you're not on a wild card, he doesn't need to go, I don't think. What else have we got here? Play Murphy or Kluivert? I'd probably play Murphy over Kluivert, maybe. Kluivert replacements? Depends. If you're on a wild card right now, then going for like probably Elanga, maybe Hudson-Odoi if you prefer that route, or you could go for Rodgers and get ahead of the game with those Aston Villa assets. That's another option there, because Aston Villa will be doubling in Game Week 33. We'll have 2 fixtures there. If you have a bit of money, you could also go up to the likes of Foden if you want to do something different. Can anyone afford to go to Palmer there? Is that a little bit too expensive, maybe? Maybe. But if you could have somehow get your midfield to Salah, Palmer, and Saka, that could be pretty interesting. Savinho is definitely an option there. A little bit more risky, particularly if you're trying to play for double game weeks. Obviously, maybe Foden is a little bit like that as well, but Savinho more so is risky for rotation. So, yeah, Man City in general, particularly in the midfield, are really difficult when you're looking for, that midfielder from Man City who is going to play both games of the double but also perform. It is difficult. And I think generally there are a lot of better midfielders out there at the moment than Man City midfielders in terms of FPL picks, at least. Isn't Bruno in full form? Why not him? No doubles. No doubles. If you're on a wild card and you want to bench boost in Game Week 33 and you want a free hit in Game Week 34, you're going to need to maximize your double game week players. And Bruno not only has no double game weeks, but actually has really weak fixtures coming up. So I would be a little hesitant about picking Bruno unless you're going for a strategy that involves free hitting in Game Week 33. In which case I would be more inclined to go for a Bruno, maybe. But I do prefer a lot of the other guys. Even Palmer, I think I would maybe go for ahead of Bruno right now, just because of the fixtures, I guess. But yeah, it depends. It depends. If you're wildcarding next week, again, you probably don't pick Bruno for the away fixture against Forest, do you? I don't think you do. Thoughts on Asensio / Rashford over Rodgers? It's difficult because Aston Villa are still in Europe, and it seems like Asensio and Rashford are players far more prone to rotation. So maybe, you know, some people have looked at going for like a Murphy now and looking to switch Murphy to an Aston Villa midfielder, or Gordon to an Aston Villa midfielder in game week 33. Make that transfer then. And if that's the case, maybe that gives you a couple more weeks to have a look at Aston Villa, how they're lining up. Are they still in the Champions League? How many minutes have many of their players had? And then you can make a judgment on which is the best Aston Villa player to go for. So I think I would hold off on the likes of Asensio and Rashford for now. Though I do like them as picks in general. I do think they just carry quite a lot of risk. And the fixtures over the next couple of games for Aston Villa are not that great anyway. So I think most people, you know, even if you're on a wild card, are you really going for Asensio and Rodgers and, you know, whoever else? If you go for these players, are you actually going to play them right now? Probably not in game week 31 and 32. Probably not. Game week 32, maybe. 30, 31, no. Let's just remind myself of the fixtures. Is it Southampton in game week 33 for Aston Villa? Don't want to get this one wrong. In fact, we may as well start throwing things on screen. There we go. I was looking at defenders earlier, wasn't I? Right. Where are you, Watkins? Yeah, Brighton away, Forest at home, Southampton away. So, yeah, 30-31, you're probably not going to play your Aston Villa assets anyway. Was there 100 experts this week? No, there wasn't. It's a pretty boring week for 100 experts, to be honest. All of the transfers that the experts are making this week are wildcarding, which we don't really cover with 100 experts. And just switching Haaland to Mateta or Marmoush or rolling the transfer. It was pretty much those three were the only things happening. They were the only three. So not really a very useful 100 experts video. So there is none this week. Matt says -4 to remove Castagna. If so, which defender? No, would not take a -4 to remove Castagna. I would rather play him than take a -4. Here for FPL says spicy up, chili up this wild card, please. Spice up this wild card, please. That maybe. Raya Martinez, Gabriel, Gavardio, Munoz, Williams, Byrne, Salah, Saka, Foden, Sarr, Murphy, Isak, Mateta, Marmoush. I mean, you could do Sarr to Eza. You could do Byrne to Livramento. But the problem is with the game week 30 wild card is it makes itself. It really does write itself. So it's very difficult to go super spicy. Foden is about as spicy as you can get on a wild card, to be honest. I mean, maybe Saka is a little spicy. I think that maybe some people won't go for him, but it's really, really difficult to really do much interesting things on a wild card. Most wildcarders this week will have incredibly similar teams, like 90% same players for everyone. Well, I mean, among engaged managers, like such as you guys who are obviously watching streams and videos and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the best I can do for you. It's really, really difficult to spice up wildcards this week. There's really not much you can do. Carter says, sounds like it'd be useful to have a Marmoush versus Mateta thoughts, as that is what I'm looking at. I mean, well, the short answer, maybe we can go into more detail later on. The short answer is, I think I would just go for Marmoush. Because it's a better fixture. He's in better form. He is more rested. Is Marmoush in better form? Okay, in the last game, in the FA Cup. Well, no, you know, even in game week 29, before the international break, Mateta wasn't playing. Obviously had that injury. So in the past month, you would probably say that Marmoush is in the better form. So better fixture, better form, plays for the better team that creates more chances. I think it makes more sense to go for Marmoush than Mateta. If I could only pick one this week, You know, and I did have that choice as well. Then, yeah, I would go for Mateta. No, sorry, I would go for Marmoush over Mateta. I mean, ideally, you have both. All right, Samuel says, can we show your team? Ah, the show team gang are here already. Well, this is where I have a treat for you. So, I'm on a wild card. I am on a wild card, and I'm going to tell you this to you guys who are early, because we did mention that on April Fool's Day, because April Fool's Day has fallen on a deadline day, we are going to we're going to fool some people. We're going to fool some people. So I'm going to get back to these super chats in 1 second, guys. I just want to explain the April Fool's prank that we're doing this deadline stream, because I appreciate you guys that come in early on the stream. And what I've done is, on my wild card, I've picked basically the most trolly players of FPL, particularly this season. So, like, Ederson in goal has been a consistent troll as long as he has been in the game of FPL. We've got Gabriel and Salah. Admittedly, I've kept Gabriel and Salah in the team because I didn't want to lose team value on either of those players. Because obviously I need to set my actual proper wild card before the deadline. But for now, this will work. So we've got Gabriel and Salah. So yeah, ignore them. But the rest of the players, super trolly. Like Dina, massive FPL troll. James, massive FPL troll. Always let you down when you need them the most. Then we've got Solly March, who has just been like a legendary troll of FPL, particularly with that like ghost goal, the goal that he scored that was not given by FPL. And he's been a bit of a channel meme, a channel hero. I have a Solly March shirt back there. And then Nkunku, massive troll. Dango's been a troll recently as well. Nkunku was like the early season troll. We've got Dango there. And then up front, we've got Darwin, Højlund, and Jackson. Possibly the three most trolly forwards in FPL. Oh, Calvert-Lewin would have worked as well. The only problem is I wanted to make the team like semi-believable. So people like, you know, who come into the deadline stream late looking for my wildcard team are like, this could be real. So I didn't want to make it like too unbelievable. But like, you know, those who like know FPL and know football will know this is a joke. But those who obviously maybe just come in and just copy a team, because there are people like that. They turn up to the deadline stream in the last 5 minutes and they just copy and paste whatever wildcard team you put out. And this is trolling those people, the people who don't even listen to the audio. They just hop in the stream, hop out, no context. They wouldn't even realize this is a joke. So I think this is going to work on a few people. So anyway, Darwin, Højlund, Jackson on the bench. I just put Fabianski on there because he has been a bit of a troll this season, not playing when we need him to play, playing when we don't need him to play. Rodgers on the bench, because Rodgers only scores points when you bench him. That has been the tale of this season. Dorgu is maybe a little bit harsh, but he is currently the lowest scoring player in FPL this season. He is on a total of -1 points because he's played 3 games, 1 point in the first game, 1 point in the second game, and -3 points in the third game. So he is the lowest point scorer in FPL this season on -1 point. So that's why he's in this troll team. And Tariq Lamptey, I did want to put Barco in, but it wouldn't let me put Barco. So I've gone for Lamptey instead, who, again, has been like a guy who's, you know, people try him out and then he gets injured. You put him in your FPL team, he gets injured, then you take him out. And then, Lamptey's fit again. Should we put him in? And then he's injured again. So that's why he's in there as well. So this is my current wildcard team, technically. Technically, this is my current wildcard team. And we'll make it into the proper team later on in the stream. So, yeah, this is the troll team. This is the April Fool's team that hopefully we can catch a few people out on today. But I'm letting you guys who are early, I'm letting you guys know you're in on the joke. So you guys are in on the joke. Right, we have got a couple of super chats here, so let's have a look at them. So, Ronnie Pye says, should I wildcard Becker, Gabriel, Aitnori, Williams, Salah, Semenyo, Palmer, Cliver, Isak, Whistlewood, bench, Joseph Sarr, Gibbs White, Greaves, and Trent? Okay. So you do have some bench cover with Gibbs White and even Sarr, to be fair, or Sa, should I say. Wood is a bit of a problem. If you have a free transfer, I would consider moving Wood to Marmoush or Mateta. But the rest of the team looks pretty good. I don't think you need to wildcard right now. If there's a lot of players you would like to have and you feel are missing, then you definitely could wildcard this week if you wanted to. But I don't think you need to wildcard, if that makes sense. So I guess it's a optional choice. Saba has put in a super sticker, but no chat. Saba, if you are still here, put a normal chat in, and obviously I think you're intended to put a message in there. If you just put a normal message in, I will read that out and see what you have to say, my friend. But I very much appreciate the super chats, guys. Very, very useful indeed. Sutton Explorer says, on a wildcard, I need one more midfielder that's 6.6 or under. Hafsar, Asensio or Rashford, I'm thinking. But any suggestions, Dan? Yeah, we did speak about Asensio and Rashford a few minutes ago. Basically, the conclusion for me is that neither of them are nailed. Aston Villa are still in the Champions League. And there's probably going to be some rotation, so I would prefer to hold off on these guys and maybe look to buy them in Game Week 33. Maybe swapping out a Newcastle defender for Asensio or Rashford in Game Week 33 itself when we have more information. So I don't think I would go for them right now. You could, but it would be really risky. Other suggestions for 6.6 or under, you've got the likes of Savinho. You've got Nottingham Forest midfielders. If you think there's a chance that these guys... Well, there is a chance that these guys double in Game Week 33. Small chance, but there is still a chance. So that could be an option to cover yourself there. Outside of that, for 6.6 or less, it's a bit of a struggle, isn't it? And I can see why you're looking at Asensio and Rashford. Could you not just go for Rodgers and bank the rest of the cash? That's probably what I would do. Probably. Matthew says the wild card is boring. It really is. It really is boring. I completely agree. But like the game's the game, and the fact that the wild card has kind of built itself mostly, probably is a good suggestion that there's a very strong wild card. There's a very strong reason to wild card as well. Maybe. Mohammed says, do you use Fantasy Football Hub? Yes, I do. Link in the description if you would like to as well. But yeah, I use Hub all the time. I have done so for years. 4 years? Maybe even 5. We might be, no, maybe not quite 5 years, but coming up to 5 years of not just using Fantasy Football Hub, but working with them in some capacity. Is Cliver a sell or a keep? If you're not on a wild card, he's probably a keep. I think it's more likely that Cliver will start than not. But it is like a bit of a toss-up. If you're worried and you have a free transfer, then I would maybe sell Cliver. But if you have bench cover, I would just keep him. To be fair. Yo, Dan, my man, should I sell Dango to Palmer or Foden? It depends. Are you wildcarding soon? Have you used your free hit? Are you looking to target double Game Week 33? If so, Foden. If not, or maybe you're free hitting in Game Week 33, maybe Palmer. That's probably what I would say. Start Dango or Wood. It's not looking good, is it? Yeah, Wood is not looking good generally. I don't think he's going to be ready. I mean, the game is literally tonight. It's going to come too soon for him. If we're being realistic, Wood is going to be... It is super unlikely to start tonight. Super unlikely. Do you have cover? If not, you probably need to sell him. I think I'll start Dango over Wood at this point. But I don't think it's going to matter because I don't think Wood is even going to be on the bench today. Is Cole Palmer very doubtful? No. Cole Palmer has been trained. He's been training for the last week. Doesn't play until Thursday. So yeah, I think he should be. I think he should be fine. I'm not too worried about Palmer personally, but we'll see what happens. Let me zoom out on this page so you can see a little bit more. Right, what else we got here? Dango could start, yeah, sure he could, but I don't think he's any safer than Kluivert right now, to be honest. If you're thinking like, oh, Kluivert is doubtful, don't worry, we have Dango. It's like the same problem, right? I think, to be honest, Kluivert, I would imagine he plays, but doesn't play the full 90. Are you using the wildcard? I'm on a wildcard right now. Can you not see my beautiful wildcard team? Can I free hit this week? I wouldn't recommend it. I definitely wouldn't recommend it. There's going to be far more useful weeks to use a free hit, I think. Yo, Dan, bro, best mid for 10.4 or less, please. Palmer's above that, isn't he? Is Saka below that? How much is Saka? Let's see. Yeah, 10.2. Maybe Saka or maybe Foden. I'd go for one of them, I think. Get the real wild card up, please. I haven't made it yet. I've just done this one for now. I haven't made the real wild card. Reckon Kluivert will start even with a knock. He hasn't got a knock. It's fatigue. So there's no injury. That's the thing. I'm struggling with picking Foden as he normally gets subbed on and wants someone who will start. Yeah, Foden is risky for sure. I mean, you could kind of avoid that price point entirely and just go for some cheaper midfielders. Think you need to get rid of March now. It's April, mate. Great point, George. Great point. Nikyle, hi, Dan. Long time. Hello, my friend. You said Trent Alexander-Arnold, triple captain in your chip strategy. Yeah, I meant to... I didn't say Trent Alexander-Arnold. I just said Alexander-Arnold because I meant to say Alexander Isak. I got my Alexanders mixed up. But there we go. Tough choice. No money. Trent to Gvardiol or Burn and Beto to Evan Nilsson or Mateta. I mean, if you're taking -4s, just wildcard now. That's definitely what I would say, Nicole. If you're going to be taking -4s, just get that wildcard out, done, used. So there we go. That's probably the best suggestion I can make. But Trent to Gvardiol is a fine move, but is it worth making a transfer on a defender this close to your wild card? Maybe not. Here for FPL says, knowing you as a manager, I guess you're looking to free hit 33 to get a potential edge. I would love to free hit in Game Week 33. I really would. That is the exact kind of, move that I like to make. Something a little bit different. Try and find an edge. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then, too bad. At least we gave it a go. However, I've been looking at it, really deeping it, and particularly when we're looking towards Game Week 36 and Game Week 37. Well, Game Week 36 really, with a double game week in Game Week 36. It's not looking as hot. It's more difficult to maximize doubles in Game Week 36 on a free hit 33 strategy compared to a free hit 34 strategy. The free hit 34 strategy is just better if you're looking to maximize on the doubles. It really is. So really, if you are going for that edge, you're counting on single game week players outscoring double game week players, and that is very, very difficult to predict. So yeah, I would love to find that edge for free hit game week 33, but honestly, it's not optimal at all. It's not optimal, and that sucks. But that's just how the FA Cup games have kind of landed, which I'm super disappointed at, really. Really, really disappointed. Top 10 travelers come in to ask me to tell the helicopter story. Even though I've told you the helicopter story many, many times. What the hell is this team? Are you wildcarding? This is my wildcard team. What are you talking about? This is my wildcard team. Do you not like it? What's wrong with it? Name one thing wrong with my wildcard team. Should we draft up a proper wildcard team? We probably should, shouldn't we? And get that ready to go. So when we get a bit closer to deadline, and then we'll launch the true wildcard team. Let's see here. So my budget is like 104, 105 million. So we'll go up to 104, 105 million. Right, Raya, Gab, Mun, Salah, Saka, boring, Gavardio. Are you yawning as much as me yet, guys? Isaac, Mateta, Marmouche. Everyone's got the same team. Murphy. Right, guys, if you're on a wild card right now, have I got the same players as you so far? Have we nailed it? Are we how many players have I picked? That's 11 men. Am I 11 for 11 right now with your wild card teams? And then we'll fill in the gaps. Everyone has the same wildcard team. There is only one wildcard team. Player for player, the same as my wildcard, says George. Ican says 10 out of 11. Eze over Saar. Marcus says just about. Sutton Explorer 11 out of 11. Harry 11 out of 11. You see what I mean? Everyone has the exact same wildcard team. It's unreal. It's so boring, but it's boring because it's just a good team. Los Hobitos 11 out of 11. Brandon says 5 out of 11. Brandon, what's going on, man? What's going on? Siddharth, you really want Bruno, right, man? If you really want him, get him. Am I wildcarding? I'm already on a wildcard. This is my current wildcard draft right now. There for all to see. I'm not hiding it. The show team gang are welcome to copy my wildcard team if they want to. Right, anyway. Let's see. Who else do we bust out on this? We're not falling for this. Some might fall for it. The show team gang will be in the mud. Right, after this, where do we go? We need a Newcastle defender. Oh, you know what? We need Konsa as well. Hey, Konsa. Boring. Livramento. Maybe some people going Burn or Pope, potentially. And then we need Rodgers. Yay. And Sells. Ta-da. So boring. Oh my god, I hate it. Every fiber in my body wants to not do this team. Every bone in my body wants to not make the same team as everyone else. But it can't be helped. We go Savinho instead of Rodgers. But am I confident in that one? Not massively. Would maybe give a benching headache as well. Deary me. I will have a little bit of money spare after this, actually. I have like another 2 million, 2.5. Actually, a bit more than that. Like 2.5 to 3.5, something around that. Why not Konstantin Kusanov and have 3 City? I think I'd like to keep a 3rd City slot open. Just to see. Upgrade Eze and trips them. I don't know if I would want them, though. I think Saar is just as good as Eze. I'd rather keep the money in the bank, I think. Is Clive out for sure, Dan? Definitely not out for sure. He's just fatigued. If there's no injury. So, you know, there's definitely... There's a small concern, but not a big one. Rafa says Bowen 10 plus Hall coming. Also Saka to start likely. I think Saka's got a decent chance to start. Yeah, I don't think he plays 90 minutes, but I think he's got a really good chance to get some minutes. Martinez oversells 100,000%. Well, the thing is, if I'm going on a wild card, and maybe this is the differential, I want a bit of Forest cover just in case that Forest game gets moved to Game Week 33. The only difficulty is that will Sells be a good bench boost manager against Spurs away? Probably not, no. So do we instead go, we swap these two? Maybe, and go Martinez. How much is Martinez right now? 5 million. And go like maybe Williams, Nico Williams here. That would work. Could do Pope as well. Yeah, that's the other consideration. It's a bit cheaper as well. If I go, the only thing is with that is I quite like Martinez maybe in Game Week 32, where Raya plays against Brentford, which is probably the toughest game in this next run of 3 from a defensive point of view. Probably. So I do like Martinez. How many double game week players would that be? That's 1, 2 in this current team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we could supplement that with an extra Aston Villa player and an extra Man City player. In game week 33 itself. And Williams as well. He doesn't count, does he? So it'd be 10. So could we go for Edison? Some people might. I don't know if I want to do that. Too much of a troll. He's in my troll team, for God's sake. Can I afford Foden in this Rodgers slot? I think I can. No, I can't. I could if I downgraded Martinez, though. I downgraded Martinez and... No, I don't think I would be able to afford that. I'd have to remove Raya as well. So yeah, Foden is not quite in reach for me in this kind of setup. Savinho is, though. We do Savinho instead of Rodgers and then move Murphy to Rodgers in Game Week 33. That would work. Let's zoom in a little. Pretty strong. Might be safer to go Pope and Conser, though. Oh, you know what? I quite like that. And then we maybe switch out Williams, Livramento, and Murphy in Game Week 33. That would work. Get some more doublers. Get some Aston Villa guys in there. Get Rodgers in, or maybe like even Asensio or Rashford potentially. And then move Williams and Livramento, or maybe one or both, to a Conser. But if that's the case, is it worth just having Conser from the off? I don't know if I want double Aston Villa defence, unless I have to. I don't know. Maybe we stick with Williams. Tough one, man. Tough one. Sun Explorer says, mate, that's actually my team. Allow it. It's so easy, man. It's so easy to make a wildcard team in Game Week 30. Everyone has the same team. Everyone has the same team. People have got like 1 or 2 players different from one another. It's going to be everyone together, one big happy FPL family, all hoping for the exact same outcome. Nobody gaining rank, nobody losing rank, at least among the engaged managers. Like, the biggest differential for wildcarders between wildcarders in Game Week 30 will be whether you captain Salah or Marmoush. And we know that 90% of people are going to go for Salah. There's really not much of an edge. There's really not much of an edge available. Are we trusting the Saka leaks if they come out on April Fools? No, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. What's wrong with Cliver? He's fatigued. He is fatigued. No injury, no knock. Andrew said, yeah, Haaland injury ruined the options. If Haaland was available, there would be some variety. There would be less people wildcarding. There would be more variety. If Wood was available, there'd be less people wildcarding. There would be more variety. If Crystal Palace lost to Fulham, again, that would create more variety. If who else was it? Brighton. If Brighton qualified as well, who did they even play? Forest. If Brighton beat Forest in the FA Cup again, there'd be so much more variety. But as things stand, everything that's happened in the last basically 4 days means that everyone has converged on an identical wildcard, near enough. FPL Meerkat says, start Cliver or Rodgers? I don't know, man. I still low-key think Clivert's going to start. I'm not... There's no way that, I'm convinced by that. But I don't know. I think he's got 60 minutes in him. I think he's got 60, 65 minutes. I mean, who else plays this? It's going to mean Semenyo moving to the centre. Bournemouth need to bounce back and win a game. And there's no injury. It's just fatigue. Is this the moment to rest players? I think the rest is more likely to come when Tavernier is back. Because Tavernier can just slot straight into that attacking midfield position. Surely that's the way. Because otherwise, everything's got to change. Dango's got to play on the left. Semenyo's got to play through the middle. That's not how Bournemouth have been playing. So look, I'm far from, but it's an easy game. He might rescue. Is it an easy game? Is any game in the Premier League easy? Particularly when Bournemouth have been dropping points recently, despite playing well, of course, but they have been dropping points. It's now the time. They've just lost in the FA Cup. They've dropped points. They still want that Champions League football. It's now the time to drop a player. I agree that there is a huge risk. A huge risk that Cliver doesn't start. But I don't think Cliver is a write-off. And I think if you are saying, oh no, there's no way Cliver's going to start. There's no way he's going to play. And I think you're probably trying to sell yourself an agenda. Which is fine, like, if that helps with decision-making. But I'm not going to sit here and write off Cliver. Because if he starts at home against Ipswich, even if he plays 45 minutes, could be points. Could be points. The problem is Tavernier. If Tavernier was available, then I would say, yeah, Cliver's getting benched. But he's not. Is Haaland 100% ruled out? Yeah. Yeah, Haaland is out for the next 2 months, really. Yeah, it's not looking too good there. Peter Parker's in the chat. Good afternoon, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, Haaland's out for time, which is really good for Marmoush, actually. It makes Marmoush pretty much an essential pickup. Justin hasn't trained with the team. Yeah, good. If he's fatigued, that's exactly what he needs. Players don't train all the time during fixture congestions if there is fatigue there. I'm pretty sure there was a period of time where Heung-min Son didn't train for like 6 months, but played every week because it was just too much of an overload on his body. The games were the training. Michael says, Evan Olsen, thoughts as a 1 week punt. I have 5 free transfers. Yeah, I like it, man. Really nice 1 week punt. But Marmoush played better as a second striker. I agree, and I think Haaland being on the pitch, occupying defenders, actually it makes Marmoush a better option. But look, at the end of the day, we're talking 7.4 million for the striker of Manchester City for the next 2 months, when they have double game weeks. That's pretty huge. Pretty huge. You really think a wildcard is better than a -4? Yeah, I do. I do. What about removing Cliver and Henderson and then move Sarr to Sarr and Martinez? For free? Oh, no, it's luxury. It's luxury, man. Henderson is fine as a goalkeeper. Surely there's some other Cliver replacements that you like the look of. Savinho or Murphy or Rogers. Semenyo instead of Cliver on Wildcard. Possibility, you know. There's, you know, if you fancy, you really want to go in on the Bournemouth midfields or the Bournemouth players in general, then yeah, that could be pretty interesting. Oh, you're on a Wildcard. Oh, yeah. If you're on a Wildcard, yeah, that's just really, really straightforward. Really straightforward. For sure, I would do that. It's luxury for transfers, but on Wildcards, you just do whatever, don't you? You go crazy with it. You enjoy yourself. HQA says, Captain Marmouche. Is that an instruction or a question? If it's an instruction, don't tempt me because I will. I really would love to Captain Marmouche this week. I really would. But it's asking for trouble with Salah, isn't it? It really is asking for trouble betting against Salah. I think Marmouche is a really nice opportunity to go differential. If you are looking to chase, looking to get to try and chase down rank or chase down, you know, a leader in your mini league or whatever, I think there's a big, big shout, a very, very big shout indeed, to go for Marmouche instead of Salah as captain. Are you on a wildcard, Dan? Yes, I am. Do you want to see my team? It's good, isn't it? We need to gamble it, bro. My friend, I would love to gamble it. And you're right, I do need to gamble it. But, I mean, if you look at my wildcard team, you can probably tell I'm already taking a few gambles here. Few gambles. Hammock says, advice for wildcard if free hit used. I would try and save it for game week 34 if possible. I'll try and save your wildcard for game week 34. If your team is like just totally cooked right now, then maybe you use it and try and make a balanced team between covering doubles and covering blanks and maybe trying to roll some transfers in between now and game week 34 to try and resolve things. But it is very difficult to maximize the next 5 game weeks if you are wildcarding without a free hit. Ideally, if you've used your free hit, you would wildcard in game week 34 and set yourself up for the last few weeks of the season. Ideally. What is that team? It's my wildcard team, man. It's my absolutely amazing and insane wildcard. Oh, sorry, you can't see the bench, can you? Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, we got some big names on the bench. We got some big names. Any news on Haaland? Yeah, he's out for 2 months, man. He's out for 2 months. It's not good. Right. Should we do a captain poll? Let's see what you guys are saying with regards to... I mean, obviously, most of you are captaining Salah, but let's just see how many people are going for Marmouche. Is there anyone, by the way, before we do the captain poll, is there anyone outside of Salah and Marmouche that any of you guys are seriously considering on your for your captain for game week 30? Is there anyone else I'm missing here? Mateta. Okay. How many of you guys are actually going to do that? Don't get me wrong, I'm not totally against it. Few people saying Evan Nilsson here, to be fair. That's super interesting, by the way. I personally don't have the bravery to captain Evan Nilsson, but I love that for any of you guys. And genuinely, I'll be wishing you guys the best for your Evan Nilsson captain, because that is brave, it is bold. I absolutely love that for you guys. honestly, I'll be rooting for you all the way. But I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too risky for me. I'll certainly be happy to take a degree of risk, but that is a step too far. Right, let's go Salah, Marmoush, Mateta, and other for the captain poll. And whilst we're doing that, I have noticed there is a big shining light coming through here, shining on my shirt. What's going on here? Can we cover that up? We must live in darkness. Darkness is my ally. I was born in it. Molded by it. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Right, is Eze captain insane? It is a little insane. I can't lie to you, my friend. It's a little insane, but I love a bit of insanity. Like I'm not against it, man. If you want to go crazy, I don't want to stop you, because I actually love this stuff. I love it when people go mad with these crazy captains, because occasionally it does come off, and that's so exciting. I loved the Bruno captain last week so much. I really loved it. If I had Bruno, I probably wouldn't have captained him just because I did have Haaland. But if I didn't have Haaland, a lot of people were saying, okay, Bruno versus, who else was it? That was like a big captain shout. Wood. It was Wood. It was Bruno. A lot of people were saying Bruno versus Wood. I was all aboard that Bruno train, man. I thought that looked really, really nice. And it paid off. People were all about Haaland and Wood. And then a few people said, okay, I'm going to try something different and I'm going to go for Bruno. And it paid off so nicely for those who captained Bruno last week. That happens. It doesn't always happen. Most of the time, it probably doesn't happen. But when it comes off, you can't beat that feeling in FPL, man. You can't beat that feeling when a differential captain really, really pays off. So, let's see. Let's see what happens next. Nicole says, Wildcard 30 done. Triple captain 32. Bench boost 33. 7 to 10 players in Gameweek 34. No free hit. Nicely done. Nicely done. If I was top 50k, I would have captained Salah, but I'm not, and that's why I'm captaining Marmoush. It's solid logic. Particularly if you're on Wildcard right now, your team is super template, super, boring, copy and paste kind of team. A Marmoush captain over Salah might be the difference to do something special. It might be. But remember, it is Salah. And it's so risky betting against that man, I swear. I swear. Have you missed my super chat, mate? Says Paredes. I don't know, have I? Oh, here it is. Sorry, yeah, I did miss that. Going bench boost on later stages. Hang on, I need to sneeze. Excuse me. Say bless you. Rude. Brennan says, going bench boost on later stages, 35 plus. What assets should I try to recruit for my game week 30 wildcard, goalkeepers and others? Shall I show you my let me show you my calendar. It's on, what is it on? I think I have a version on Google Sheets. Let's find it. There it is. Let's throw that on screen for you guys. Is that fairly visible? Thank you for all the blessings, by the way. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at. And basically the Game Week 36 double, assuming that FA Cup finalists and their scheduled opponents, their fixture moves from Game Week 37 to Game Week 36, which is the most likely scenario, then it depends. We've got Man City versus Forest in one FA Cup semi-final. Whoever wins that semi-final, and that will take place during Game Week 34, whoever wins that and their opponent will double in 36 and blank in 37. And the other tie is Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Again, same situation. Them and their opponent, or the winner and their opponent will double in 36 and 37. Who those are going to be? Really difficult to call. Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, really difficult game to call. Man City versus Forest. I don't even think that is straightforward to call either. So we can speculate maybe on some of the teams that could have a double game week in 36. And that is hopefully highlighted in this table. But really difficult to say with any certainty, to be totally honest with you guys. Which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. We need the FA Cup games, and we won't know until the build up to game week 35. Frustrating. Arsenal not beaten Fulham in 2 years. Score prediction 1-0 to Arsenal. Let's go. 1-0. It's happening. I need a second goalkeeper for my bench boost. Well, for your game week 36 bench boost, I don't know which goalkeeper will double in game week 36. That's the problem. I guess what you could do is you could take... Let's see here. You could take Edison and Sells. If you took Edison and Sells, one of them would have a double game week, and the other one would have a great individual fixture. So Edison and Sells as a goalkeeper combo works if you are just trying to plan out to a bench boost 36. So that would be my suggestion. That's the only combination I can see that would work for looking for a bench boost 36. Why not go Bruno instead of Højlund? It's a great question, Paul. I just feel like Højlund... Have you heard the phrase due a goal? When a player hasn't scored in so long, sometimes I feel they are due a goal. For example, I don't think I've scored a goal really in any capacity since I was about maybe okay in any organized match, including 6-a-side games. I don't think I've scored a goal probably since 2007, I would say. Probably around 2007. So I would say that I'm due a goal. So I would pick me in my team, just like I would pick Højlund. Comparable. Similar. Due a goal. What position are you playing? I would have to play striker if I have any chance of getting a goal. I would have to. It would have to be done. Assistant manager, would you go Glasner or Emery? I would go Glasner. I haven't scored since the Queen died, says Thomas. The Roblox wooden train. I don't think I've scored since the King died. And I don't mean the current King. I mean the one before. How many goals do I get in this City side? 0. Genuinely 0. Even if they gave me penalties, free kicks, and I just goal hung the whole time, I would get 0 goals for Man City. I'm telling you right now. I have absolutely no faith in my footballing ability. Even if I played central striker on all penalties for Man City, I would score 0 goals in a full Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, and Community Shield campaign. Nothing. 0. I might get an assist, and that's only because I made a sideways pass, and one of the other guys will do the business. But I ain't getting nothing. I'm sorry. I'm just not. It's not possible. Harry said I'd give you a bonus point. Thank you so much, but I assure you I will not have earned it. I will not have earned it. By the way, I got a little... You can't see this. Hang on. This is where the money has gone, by the way. This is where your super chat money has gone. I put a little hook on the side of this cabinet to put my hat on. So if you're wondering where your super chat money goes, it's for useless stuff like that. To put a hook on the side to put a hat on. There we go. You know, we're talking upgrades to the setup. Those are the kind of upgrades we're making. And the football. Should we have a kickabout, lads? you want to see my football skills in the flesh, in real life, in reality? You want to kick ups I can do? Right. Let's move this out of the way. You have a little kick about, lads? Right, I'm going to pass to you, and you got to pass it back, okay? Is this a good idea with all of this electrical equipment in the room? Probably not. Right, how many keepy ups can I do? Right, let's see. 1, 2. Oh no, okay. I didn't want to kick there because I didn't want to kick my microphone. So two keepy ups. We've not got much room. Can we get to 3? Right. We keep it nice and low. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what I mean, guys? 0 goals in a Man City team. It's not happening. It's not happening. The football is for show only. Is that in the centre? It's only for show. Sign him up, says JP. Don't. I'm not going to destroy the set yet. No, I gave up on that one pretty quickly. Matt says Clive, Palmer, start, Wood, Mikolenko, bench. Thoughts? Yeah, I think you've aced it. Who is the best Clive replacement? If you're on a wild card, like going for someone like Alanga or something like that, or Rogers, Alanga, Rogers. You could go for Semenyo if you wanted to. If you're on a wild card, if you're not on a wild card, if you've got bench cover, I don't think I'd bother with a replacement. To be honest, I don't think I'd bother. I know why this podcast is stick to FPL now. Right. Well, that is a violation, and that's a yellow card. I'm sorry. That is a yellow card for you. You're going in the book. What's your name? Cam Rogers. Cam Rogers, you're in the book, my son. Who's my captain? Currently Salah, but I'm so tempted with Marmoush. Although, I mean, to be honest, looking at my team, I don't even have Marmoush. So how am I going to do that? How on earth am I going to do that? I have to buy him. Right. I need to tweet out the sleeper link. If anyone wants to join the Predictor League for this month, I'm going to put a link up for it on Twitter now before I forget. It's sleeper. Okay. Because the April League is starting now. It's also in the link of the stream as well if you want to join. Yeah, this is the last week to join the April League if you want to. Just bear with me one moment, guys. Free to join, prizes for winners. There we go. Can we see the double game week table, please? Yes, we can. I need to get a screenshot of this and just open it up, really, because it's not very clear. How are we going to do that? Let's zoom out. Let's move this marker over there. Take a quick screenshot. Screenshot there. And then we can open that image up on Chrome. There we go. That's better. No, it's not. You can't quite see it. Zoom out one. That's good. Pretty clear. There you go. That's probably a little bit better, a little bit clearer for you guys to see. Where is the team with the wild card? You mean this? My wild card team here? By the way, guys, do not let me forget to change this back to my to a normal wildcard team, by the way. Do not let me forget. Do you think Saka will play? I do think he will. Yeah. I'm not like 100%, and I don't think he'll play 90, but I think he gets some minutes. Yeah, I do. Foden and Murphy, or Savinho and Gordon on the wild card. I think I'd go Foden and Murphy. Are you on a wild card? Yeah, man. This is my wild card team. This is literally my wild card team is on screen right now. Okay, guys. So we got about an hour 15 until deadline. By the way. Wait, Dan, are you being serious with this wildcard team? I mean, I might make a few changes before deadline. But yes, right now, this is my wildcard team. So, yeah. Seriously. FPL Noah says, guys, Noah remind Dan to actually change the team and see what happens. Yeah, right. I'm not going to forget, am I? I'm obviously not going to forget. Ugh. We're not falling for this, Dan. What do you mean you're not falling for? Falling for what? I'm just showing you what my current wildcard team is. I've not said anything else other than this is what my current wildcard team is. There's no tomfoolery. There's no tricks. I might make some final changes before deadline. That's all I'm going to say. This is just my wildcard team. Like, what do you want me to do? It is technically April 1st, yes, but look, this is just my team right now, guys. Do you really hate it that much? It's not that bad. What's wrong with it? Tell me what's wrong with my beautiful wildcard team. Looking through the captain poll, by the way, guys. Salah dominating as expected, 74%. We've got 20% on Marmoush, 3% on Mateta, and 3% on other. So it really does seem that Salah and Marmoush are dominating, really dominating this captain poll, which is interesting. I think Marmoush is really interesting, though. What's Salah doing among these scrubs? I mean, I have a lot of value tied up in Salah, so I didn't want to sell him because I don't want to lose team value by selling Salah. So that's why Salah's still in the team, because I didn't want to lose team value. Imagine if Dan's team outperforms the template. I don't see why not. We've got Darwin, we've got Jackson, two most clinical forwards in the Premier League. Højlund always banging in goals. Solly March, the FPL legend. Digne, Reece James. When have these two guys ever steered you wrong? When have they ever steered you wrong? They are Digne and Reece James, two most reliable guys in FPL. What can I say? March is a good differential. Thank you, Snickerboa. I'm glad someone appreciates my wildcard team. I'm glad someone appreciates it. Look, the template is very strong right now. If you want the template team, something a bit more realistic, then this is a really nice team. Wait, no, it's not. I forgot to save, didn't I? And it refreshed. Okay, that's my bad. The best availability is unavailability. Thank you, Ben. Now you understand. The best ability is unavailability. Right, let's make this. It's so quick and easy to make this stupid template team. Too easy, man. You just throw a bunch of players in with high predicted points. Yeah, boring, boring, boring. And then for the last 3 slots, you pick some kind of Newcastle defender. Let's go. What did I have before? We had because this is actually what I want to do. Do we have Martinez? We had Livramento, Martinez, and not that Martinez. This Martinez. And you know what? Is there anyone else I can take here? Who has a good fixture in Game Week 33? Is there anyone that I'm missing? Maybe West Ham? West Ham at home against Southampton. We've got Liverpool at home against Leicester. Could go Liverpool, to be fair. West Ham. Right, let's have a look here. West Ham also have a chance of a double in 36. Could be the play. So West Ham, let's look at Wolves as well. Probably not against Man United. Oh, we could just look here, to be fair, can't we? So we need a player with good Game Week 33 and a chance of a double in 36. So we've got Forest, maybe. But that's a bad single in 33. We've already got Arsenal, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Man City. So it's really down to West Ham. Could be a Wan-Bissaka job then, right? Or Areola. Could be an Areola job here. Actually, let's have a look at this with Wan-Bissaka. 4.5 million. It's not bad. Let's optimize it here. I think I'd play Saka ahead of Murphy. If we do this the other way, and maybe do Areola in goal for like really nice and cheap, and then Konsa, frees up a little bit of money there. Because I'll have like 3 million in the bank. So we could... Can we afford Foden with this? Yeah, I think I can. Let's find a backup plan just in case I can't. I know that's a really expensive team, but it might just work. It might work indeed. How else would you do this? You could go, okay, I could swap Raya and Gvardiol for Edison and maybe not Saliba. Timber seems risky. Could downgrade Munoz. Sarr can't really go down, can he? Not sure where to go to make this a bit cheaper. I mean, like this is a nice team though. This is a really nice team. Like if you guys can afford that, then why not? So let's go for like a... You know what's really interesting? Maybe Evan Nilsson over Mateta. And Ezra over Foden. That'll free up a lot of budget. Don't really know where I'd spend it though. It could be interesting differential. To have double Crystal Palace midfield instead. Or... Ooh, I've had an idea. Guys, I've had a brain moment. I've had a brain moment. This is an interesting one. What about that? I'm not seeing anyone do anything like that. Oh, it's quite nice. Hey, that's quite nice, isn't it? What do we think? What do we think, chat? Is that viable? I know everyone's like, oh, we have to have Mateta, have to have Mateta, have to have Mateta. You could even do Evan Nilsson for now and then swap Evan Nilsson to Watkins in 2 weeks' time. That works as well. Have I cooked? If we're looking to go something a little bit different, Have we cooked? I could, yeah, I'm not sure I want to go Rashford. I want to wait on his minutes. I think there's a good chance that I'll do Murphy to Rashford or Murphy to Rodgers or Murphy to Asensio, depending on budget, depending on minutes potential, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like this. If you're looking just to find something slightly different, you could either go Watkins now or have Evan Nilsson here and then swap him to Watkins later. It could be nice, man. It could be very, very nice. I like it. You're betting against Mateta, which is, is it super risky? He looked a bit cautious in that game at the weekend against Fulham. A little bit cautious, which we expect first game back after an injury like that. But if he continues to be a bit cautious while he's got to wear the old head thingy, which is going to be the next month, my bank balance doesn't like it. My bank does like it. I'm working off on this tool. I'm working off a budget of 100 million. My budget's like 104 million plus. My word. I do believe I may have cooked on a differential wildcard team. Boom. Guys, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We've cooked. Right, let's see. We've probably got a couple of super chats, so let's catch up on them. And by the way, guys, just a quick reminder, if you haven't liked the stream, I would massively appreciate it. Really does help out the channel so much. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done already. Matt here says, Wood to Marmouche. Yep, like it. Bench Palmer, Cliver, or Mbermo. I would bench Cliver out of those three. We're gonna do a bench list in a minute, I think. Sid Vicious says, Wildcard Game Week 30. If double Game Week won't be Game Week 33, what's gonna affect? Well, there will be a double Game Week in Game Week 33. Just not for all teams. It's Arsenal, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Man City, which are looking like 95% likely to have a double in 33 at this point, and then a blank in 34, of course. Which is guaranteed. Well, not like 100% guaranteed, but again, like even more, like 99%. And then we've got a small chance of a Forest Brentford double there as well. Small chance. But anyway, Sid Vicious says, Wildcard Game Week 30, if double game won't be Game Week 33, what's it going to affect? If double blank game, it won't be Game Week. I'm not sure I understand the question, Sid Vicious, but hopefully this table in front of you guys can, I guess, answer when the doubles are going to be, when the blanks are going to be. I definitely, even after the deadline, I definitely recommend checking out the chip strategy video I put out on Monday. Let's have a look at some of these other super chats. JJ says, thoughts on Bradley as a differential, Game Week 33 bench boost. Yeah, Bradley is apparently not quite ready to go yet. So it is going to be Quansah playing right back this game week and maybe Game Week 31 as well. Though I'm not really sure. I think we don't know when Trent is going to be available again. Game Week 33 is a little far away. I don't think I'd be jumping in on Bradley at this moment. So there we go. Charlie says, I just had to cut off my client short to find out what the plan is. Is it wildcard week? Boom, shakalaka. It is. It's definitely wildcard week for a lot of people. For a lot of people. Right, what else we got in the super chats? Hopefully I haven't missed any. Sultan says, is Marino a good Clivert replacement? I don't think so. I don't really fully trust Marino to get regular FPL returns. And I think there are some better midfielders out there at the moment. Haaland replacements, Marmouche seems to be the one. Paul says, are you saying I've cooked or am I mishearing? What does that mean? How do we describe what it means to cook? I guess to... What do you even describe that? It's when you do something or suggest something or have an idea or, just do something that is good, maybe usually unexpectedly, or impressive, something impressive. You do something impressive, or have an impressive thought, or do an impressive. Let's Urban Dictionary. You guys ever used to use a Urban Dictionary? Okay. So that is to be cooked. That is to be cooked, but we need to cook. To cook. These are cook. Okay. Cook. Twitter slang can mean to pull. Could also mean to rizz up. No, this is not true. That's not what it means. I don't even know how to. Honestly, I don't know how to describe it. All right, Mustafa says nailing it unexpectedly. I think that's actually a pretty good description. If you nail something, you know, when you say, "Oh, I've nailed it." Cooking on gas, yeah, that's a good like analogy there. I'm cooking on gas, maybe. Dan has cooked himself. Yeah, I am cooked right now. Vadat says cooked when someone does a very good job. Yeah, that works. John says it just means produce something good. That's probably the most simple explanation, to produce something good. And now I'm cooked trying to describe cooking. So yeah, that's that one. It's just Twitter slang, isn't it? It's Twitter slang. Internet lingo. Spending too much time on the internet. Is Mateta starting? I'd be very surprised if Mateta didn't start. Will Allison play? You know what? I haven't actually checked the Allison news today. Was there an update? Let's see. Hold on, gang. See if there was an Allison update. Can't find anything. Liverpool. When did they have the? Oh, they had the press conference this morning. Okay, so Allison has trained. He's gonna have one. He's gonna have a final check before being cleared. So it sounds pretty positive on Allison. So there we go. That's your Allison update, because I know a few people have asked about Allison. It sounds reasonably positive. I missed Craig's super chat. Oh, I do apologise, Craig. Haaland out for Marmoush or Isak? Oh, good question. Good question. But here's the thing, right? Nobody's talking about captaining Isak. Or if anyone is, it's very, very few people talking about captaining Isak. Whereas Marmoush is genuinely like a big, big captain option. So does that suggest that maybe counterintuitively, because we know Isak generally is a more essential asset for the long term, but if you know you're going to pick up Isak next game week anyway, then Marmoush is probably the player you go for this week. But if you can only pick one of these two players for the next 3 game weeks, then you probably go for Isak. So it depends what you need, Craig. If you're going to have an opportunity to buy Isak next week, then go for Marmoush this week. If you need to just get it forward and you don't want to worry about spending any more transfers anywhere else, you have no wildcard planned or anything like that, then Isak's your guy. Update on Wood. It's not sounding very good. It's not sounding very good on Wood. I think it's pretty unlikely that he plays. He's kind of still taking it day by day. Apparently, he doesn't seem like he's super ready for a return, and the game is tonight, so I don't think he's going to be ready for tonight. Like, he didn't even make the bench at the weekend, so I would be a little cautious on that one. Thoughts on Trippier on Wildcard? I don't mind it. I don't mind it. If you've got cash to splash, then go for it. I think I personally would rather save the money and just stick with Livramento, though. Eza or Sarr? I think if I had to pick one, I would choose Sarr just because of the price tag. Hi, mate. Top 3 midfielders apart from Salah. I'm going to say Sarr, Saka, Eza. Yeah. There you go. You might not be able to have them all, but... Is it a good move to change Gordon to Rodgers or Murphy because I don't have enough money? Yeah. Yeah. If you don't have enough money, that's absolutely fine. Murphy or Gordon. I think I'm leaning more towards Murphy at this point. Because I think it would be nice to have a little bit of bench cover. Thoughts on going without Marmoush? It's risky, man. It's risky. I don't know if I would go there. Mate, did you wildcard this week? Yeah, do you want to see my team? How many players flagged / doubtful to play would it take you to wildcard this week rather than next? I guess if... Okay, so including the 3 outfield players on the bench... 5 players, including the 3 outfield players on the bench, would be enough to convince me to wildcard. So if you have like Cliver, Wood, Haaland, Trent, Mikalenko, for example, those 5, that would definitely be enough to push me to wildcard. Definitely. 4 players, if you can't fix it with a free transfer, maybe, or you are missing, if you're missing a lot of major players, it's difficult, man. It's difficult. Again, maybe you wildcard now. So there we go. Oh, might need to top up my drink. That's the problem with the old 3-hour streams. Right. Let's keep it moving with a bench list. First of all, Mark says, hi, Dan. Would you start Dango or Monetsu? I think I would start Dango? Probably Dango, right? Are you wildcarding? This is my wildcard team. What do you want from me? Why is no one talking about Foden? We've spoken about Foden for a little while today. All right, let's do the bench list. Okay, guys. So, in the chat, I would like you to tell me which players are you thinking about benching this week? Not players that you are definitely starting, players that you are thinking about benching. That you have a bit of a benching decision to make. And there might be a couple of players you have that you're not sure who to bench, who to start. So we've got Saka here. I think that's a sensible start to the conversation. I think I would put Saka here. Elanga, I would put... Would I play Elanga over Cliver? That's super tough, isn't it? I don't think I would. We'll put Elanga / Hudson-Odoi there, just in case. We'll put Gibbs White here as well. It's not going to fit. Is it going to fit? MG Dubs. We'll call him Elan for now. The text will get smaller as we add more people, and it will fit on later. Cliver is a doubt. You're quite right. Is it worth risking Cliver with Murphy off the bench? I think so. I think I would rather play a lot of these guys than Murphy, in fairness. For example, I put Murphy below even that. Like, I don't love this Brentford fixture. It's not as good now as it maybe would have been considered a year ago. Right, let's throw in some, like, Forest defenders. So we'll just put them all together. Alanga over Rodgers. Again, yeah, Rodgers I think I would put even lower than Murphy. So Rodgers would go down here. Brighton are a good side right now. Savinho I would start for sure. Potentially, maybe not above Burmo and Wissa. But I think above Saka. Maybe, yeah, above Saka start Savinho. Dango. We've got Cliver on there already. Dango is interesting. Kukurea there as well. Oh, maybe put Kukurea. So tough. Here? Dango's, I think, for me, is still below a lot of these guys. I think, honestly... Yeah. Is it completely insane going without Salah? I think it is insane. What else are you spending the money on? Right. What else have we got here? Eze, Sarr. Again, I don't think Eze and Sarr need to go on. Like, are you thinking about benching Eze and Sarr realistically? This is again, this is the bench list. This is not a general tier list of players. This is it's to help you with bench related decisions. Would I captain Salah or Marmoush? I would happily captain both of them. Marmoush for the risk takers, Salah for the safers, I guess. So it depends how risky you are feeling this week. I am super tempted with Marmoush captain, though. I'm so tempted by that. Could be huge. It's so risky, though, man. Sarr on the bench list. What? Are we really thinking about selling Sarr? Really? Why Areola? Because he's cheap and he covers you in... He has a nice fixture in Game Week 33 against Southampton and has a chance of a double game week in Game Week 36 as well. So you've got a kind of double whammy there. All right, Victoria's Secret says, wildcard. Let's read this. Wildcard, Raya, Areola, Gabriel, Gavardio, Munoz, Burn, Agbadu, Salah, Saka, Foden, Murphy, Sarr, Mateta, Isak, Mamouche. Thoughts on who to change? I mean, it's the same as everyone else's wildcard. It is, yeah, it's just a standard template wildcard, which they all are. I mean, all wildcard teams look pretty much identical. This one is no different, really, other than it has Agbadu, but I'm not sure if that's... I guess that's for budget purposes only, right? And technically, Wolves can have a double game week in Game Week 36, so, you know, that could end up being beneficial to you. So, I'm not against it. All in all, I am not against it at all. I'm going to say yes. Yes, it's fine. There's nothing really that needs to change. Like, if you wanted to downgrade Foden, then maybe you can make some upgrades elsewhere, but that's about as much as I can offer you. Anurag says, have a similar wildcard team to the hub team, 0.3 more, and I'm thinking Livra to Dunk and then Saka to Palmer. Have a week to find a way to get the third Newcastle, I guess, or just Saka downgrade elsewhere. What is in? Are you on a wild card right now? I'm guessing. I would start if you're on a wild card right now. I would have that third Newcastle player for sure, unless you're planning on an assistant manager. You could go Palmer instead of Saka. I don't hate that at all. I guess Livramento to Dunk is to get that money out, though, right? I don't know. I think I would find another way. I would definitely, if I was wildcarding in Game Week 30, I would definitely have that third wildcard player for Newcastle. Like, I wouldn't plan on making a transfer there. I would just start with him. FPL Fellows here says, Areola plays for West Ham, Dan. You do make a good point. That is a valid point. But he is very cheap. You get what you pay for, right? You get what you pay for. I mean, we're not talking about spending the big bucks on 4.5 Wan-Bissaka. Right, let's stick Chris Wood on here because there's a few questions around him. I just cannot see a world in which he starts. to a degree where it's like you probably play your defenders above him. You don't maybe. You know what? I'm putting him at the bottom. I'm sorry, Wood. I just can't see him starting. Martinez on the bench list. Yeah, so probably here, right? If I can't afford Gvardiol, can I go Konate? Again, I think you want Gvardiol. I think Gvardiol's one of the non-negotiable kind of players. So I don't think he would be the player I would sacrifice. Why Fabianski over Pickford? I mean, why Pickford full stop? Like, when are you ever going to play Pickford? Let's have a look at the fixtures real quick. Where does Pickford fit into a wildcard team? Or do you mean for the bench? He plays away against Liverpool this week. That's why he's low on the bench list. Maybe you don't understand. Yeah, maybe. But anyway. Everton play Liverpool, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Man City, Chelsea in the next 5. There's no point where you're going to want to play Pickford or any Everton defender generally in this period of fixtures. No chance of a double either. Not a play you would like want to like free hit out or anything. There's no point really. I don't know, man. I think Pickford generally, not just for this game week, but it's just one of the weaker picks generally in FPL at the moment. Like, he will be a player that even if you're not on a wild card, you'll probably be selling him pretty soon. I can imagine. Am I expecting Fabianski to start? I am not expecting Fabianski to start, no. Livramento or Murphy? To start, or is this on the bench list? Should we put Livramento on? So I think I would play my Forest defenders ahead of Livramento. I may put Livramento down here. I don't think Newcastle defense is super strong for this week. I do expect Brentford to score. Sells or Pope. Let's find these guys. We've got a few goalkeeper suggestions for me. Sells, Pope, and Kepa. So, Sells, I think I'll put here. Pope, I would put. I guess here. Wait, why have I put Fabianski here? Oh, it's because. Yeah, that's going to confuse people. Let's put Areola instead. Yeah, I put him there because I know a lot of people have Fabianski, and it might be worth starting him ahead of Pickford, for example. But yeah, we'll leave that one because it probably causes more confusion than is worthwhile. Sid Vicious says, have Hall, Haaland, Dango, Clivert, Wood, Beto, wildcard now. Yeah. yeah, Sid Vicious, it's time to wildcard, my friend, and you've only got 45 minutes to make a team. Do you want to see my draft? It's really good. Here you go. This is my wildcard team. What do you think? It's pretty popping. But in all seriousness, this is a team I really like. If you want to do a wild card that is just ever so slightly different, this is the way. I think this is a nice one. And then you'd look to move Evan Nilsson to Watkins later. FPL Victoria's Secret. I did not miss your super chat. I spoke about it for. Oh wait, you put another one in. Okay, hold up. I am behind on super chats here, so I'll catch up on them now. But anyway, if you're going if you want a wild card that is a little bit different, then something like this could be nice. But anyway, Foden, Murphy, Agbadu, or Savinho, Gordon, Williams. Foden, Murphy, Agbadu. I like the first option more. What else have we got here? Oh no, I'm caught up. Nice. Advice for wildcard, but no free hit. Ideally, you save your wildcard to Gameweek 34. What happened to Cliver? He's fatigued. He's fatigued. There's no injury. Murphy X-Mins are high. They are indeed. They are indeed pretty high. Can we have Kudus and Alisson on the bench list? I'm not going to put Kudus because I like to try and keep the main players on the bench list and not really too many differentials. But as for Alisson, I mean, yeah, I mean, why not? Beckett. Put there. Alisson, I like. If you have him this week, you'll probably play him. What else have we got here? Any other players that need to go on the bench list, guys? Kepa as well. Maybe here. Bowen. Maybe above Saka just because of that security of minutes, but below Savinho. So we're going to put Bowen here. Semenyo and Bruno. No problem. You got to play Bruno, really, haven't you? I really don't think Bruno is essential for this week, but if you have him, like, you're going to play him, right? I'd find it really difficult to bench him. And then who's the other player? Semenyo? Here? Is that unfair? I think Semenyo is such a troll. I don't fully trust him as an FPL asset. Is he better than Saka? It's a good fixture. It's a really good fixture. But, you know, no penalties. I'm going to put Semenyo there cautiously. Carl says Mikolenko, Castagna, and Greaves on the bench list. All right. Scraping the barrel here, Carl, I see. So, Mikolenko. I know a lot of people have these kind of guys just chilling on their bench, but Mikolenko can go here. Castagna can go... You know what? He's going to go below Wood. And Greaves, I guess, goes above Mikolenko, but we're not expecting anything. Deary me. Enzo. Fernandes. Enzo Fernandes. Oh, he's not on Fernandes because he is not Portuguese. So he would go maybe above above Rodgers, to be fair. Maybe there. Would we know if Saka starts before deadline? No. Nah. I mean, we know that Saka's travelled, but I really, really doubt we get early teamers. I mean, I guess there's a chance. You know what? I guess there's a chance. I guess there's a chance we get a league, but I wouldn't be like counting on it necessarily. I guess we'll see what happens. But like, I think if you're going for Saka anyway, it'd probably be a good idea to have some bench cover, unless we get a leak. But like, it's even if Saka does start, he's not going to play 90, is he? He could definitely be one of those players that kind of subs before 60 minutes. All right, a couple of super chats here. Start Saka or Murphy? Unsure about Saka's X-Mins. I would start Saka. I would start with Saka. On wildcard, Palmer to Saka to save a transfer for Gameweek 33. It's up to you. It's up to you. Palmer could be nice, don't get me wrong. But maybe that transfer is worth more. Especially as with Palmer's current form, right? Who would you say is the best goalkeeper duo for the next 4 game weeks? I mean, I would make Raya one of them. The other one, you're not really going to play very often, but maybe Martinez, I think I put in my wildcard team. Thoughts on Nwaneri over Cliver? I'm not sure if Nwaneri is going to start this week. I think he's got some rotation risk now. But let's throw Winery on here regardless. I'm going to put him below Dango. You know what, to be honest, I might even put him below some of these. I might put him below Forest defenders. The problem is with Saka news is it's really difficult because, like, what if they're trolling? What if it's April Fool's Day? It's so tricky to sort out what's real from what's not on a day like today. It's not an ideal week for a deadline day, if I'm totally honest, especially not a very important deadline day. Best differential mid for 7 million, thinking Rashford or Mittelmer. Just Savinho. Just Savinho, I think. Isn't Jackson confirmed back? He's still orange flagged. Palmer's better with Jackson back. Palmer's definitely better with Jackson back. The problem is with Jackson he is back in training and has been for like over a week now. So I think he is available. Don't get me wrong. But we don't have a press conference from Maresca pre-deadline. So we're not going to get that information confirmed from the club. But it looks like Jackson is back. It looks like he is. I expect him to be thrown back in. I mean, Chelsea need to get some results. Francisco says, sells Gabriel, Aitnori, Kirkis, Mikalenko, Vandenberg, Palmer, Alanga, Salah, Bruno, Clivert, Wood, Isak, Wood. So wildcard 31, 3 free transfers, 2.8 in the bank. What to do? Any must-haves? Wood to Marmouche. Yeah, because you're going to need to cover Wood. So I would do Wood to... Oh, wait, no. You've got Palmer, Alanga, Salah, Bruno, Clivert. Oh, okay, so you need to cover Clivert and... Okay, so yeah. Maybe, yeah, Wood to Marmouche and then bench one of Alanga or Clivert, depending on how risky you're feeling. They're pretty close. They're really close, in fact. Aaron says, mate, what are the main deadline headlines? Okay, let's try and remember them off the top of my head. Oh, well, I mean, hopefully you are up to date with the doubles and blank game weeks. But if you're not, we'll throw that on screen for you. So these are the double and blank game week projections as of a couple of days ago. So next, injuries. Saka's back in training and is going to be in the squad, we think. Very good chance of starting. Palmer's trained all week. Wood is very unlikely to be available. Clivert is dealing with some fatigue issues. Who have we not mentioned yet? Haaland is out for 2 months, I believe. Or up to 2 months. Going to be out for a while. And is that all of the players? I mean, there should be some like things there all the way down the bottom there. Should come across and tell you various bits of news. I think... Oh, Gordon is trained. If anyone's looking to go for Gordon, he has trained. Which is, I guess, good. What's my current team? I will gladly tell you my current team. Here is my current team. Can we see your final team? Oh, no, I don't know if you can see my final team. I'll show you my current team, but the final team is maybe a little too much to ask. But this is where my wildcard team is at right now. So we've got Edison in goal, Gabriel Dina and Reece James in defence, March Nkunku Dango and Salah in midfield, Darwin, Hoyland and Nicholas Jackson up front, with a bench of Fabianski, Rogers, Dorgu and Lamptey. We're taking a lot of big risks on incredibly unreliable players who usually are injured, to be honest. Expecting half of this team to be injured by next game week, to be honest. A lot of benchings, a lot of rotations, a lot of missed opportunities. But you know, we're trying to do something a little different. By someone said in the chat earlier, sometimes the best ability is unavailability, and a lot of these guys are often unavailable. So that really could be a benefit to me and my team. So this is my current wildcard draft. FPL Noah says, no, Dan Hilton says, team of the week written all over that. You know what? This is what the team of the weeks usually look like. Something like this. So for those of you saying, show team, let me see your team, I want to see your team. This is what my team looks like right now. Someone in the chat said, thanks. And I fear that they may have... Okay, so this is... So that's that. If you're looking for a recommendation for a wildcard team, something like that would look a bit nicer, maybe. Sid Vicious says Areola and Concert or Martinez and Nico. Not sure about spare NF. They're both good. Both choices are good. I mean, it's really... If you're not sure about Nottingham Forest, then go Areola and Concert. But if you're worried about Nottingham Forest potentially getting a double in 33, then go for the Nico Williams strategy. Johan says Savinho Martinez versus Edison Rogers. Ooh, good question. Rogers may be more nailed on than Savinho. To be honest, I like Edison Rogers. But if you've got Gavardiol, do you really want to double up on the Man City defense? Do you think that is maybe a team that you might want to go in more on the attackers than defenders? And that would be the sticking point for me. Because you can go you could go Savinho and Martinez, and you could maybe, if you have a Newcastle midfielder, you could move them to Rogers in game week 33 or do something like that. So that's, I think I would lean towards Savinho and Martinez. So there we go. Gibbs White is already on the bench list, my friend. Is Clivert going to play? I wish I had this information for sure. But I don't. He is dealing with some fatigue issues. He's still got a chance to play, but it's far from guaranteed. Someone says, why March? Let me tell you why March. No, you know what? Let me show you why March. Because Solly March is the greatest right winger to ever grace the Premier League. And we stan Solly March. So that is why he is an FPL legend. He had a goal robbed from him when I captained him back in 2003. And I still haven't forgiven FPL for that decision to rob my captain Solly March of his deserved, justified goal. He has been robbed. I will not stand for it, and I will keep him in my team until FPL finally reward him with the points that he earned and he deserves. And that is why Solly March will never leave my team. I am waiting. FPL, do the right thing. Do the right thing. We stan Solly March. Oh, right. Anyway, back to the chat. Imagine the site crashes. Oh, don't even say that to me. It's not going to crash realistically, is it? It's not going to happen. I'm going to check for any team leaks just in case we do have any last minute information. But it doesn't look like we have anything right now. I've got pictures of Saka arriving to play Fulham. in his full tracksuit. Zach could be back. Get over it, Dan. I will not get over it. I will never get. I will take this one to the grave. I will take this one to the grave. Let's march towards super chats. Oh, look, if we need to put super chats in to support Solly March, maybe that's just what we need to do. Maybe that's gonna be what gets him the points. A couple of super chats might do the business. Right, Gibbs White or Neto? Really good question, actually. That's a really tight one. I think I would go for Gibbs White, and one of the reasons is that if Chris Wood is out, then that means that Gibbs Wood will be the penalty taker. So that could be a swinging factor, I suppose. Could be all right. Craig says, -4, Pickford to Raya or Mikalenko to Gvardiol. If I'm -4ing, I'm wildcarding now. If you need to take a -4, then just use your wildcard and save your transfers. I would not take a -4 this week if I was planning on wildcarding in Game Week 31 anyway. Just get it done. JP says, do multiple free transfers roll over if I use the wildcard? Yes, they do, JP. Yes, they do indeed. And Veer says, hi, Dan. Isak or Marmoush for Haaland? Marmoush, if you are going to have another opportunity to get Isak. So if you're wildcarding next week, for example, or going to make another forward transfer next week, then go for Marmoush. But if you just need to make one forward transfer for the next few weeks and you're not going to touch your forwards again, or you're hoping to not touch your forwards again for a couple of weeks, then go for Isak now instead. So there you have it. That's what I would do. Clean sheet chances for Forest. Let's have a look. Could you show the tier list once more? It's not a tier list. It is a bench list. I will show it again. But it is not a tier list. It is a bench list. In fact, right. That's it. That is absolutely it. I am sick to death. I dropped my pen on the floor and got felt tip on my carpet. That's all right. These are washable. It is not a tier list. It is a bench list. Hold on, guys. Right. Let me make this very clear. I am sick and tired of people treating my beautiful bench list like a tier list. It is not a tier list. It is a bench list. They are different. And for that reason, this is going right here to remind you guys the key differences. That is not going to stay. It's going to have to go a bit wonky. Now it's so low you can't even read it. You know what? Maybe we forget about this idea for now. But you get the gist. You put it here. Where can I put this? Well, it's going to go here for now. I don't even... Is that visible? Almost. There we go. A reminder to one and all. Righty ho, what have we got here? Super chat from Manmed at Work says it's giving me the whole wildcard team. Raya Martinez, Gabriel Livramento, Williams, Gvardiol, Constance Murphy, Palmer, Sarr, Eza, Salah, Isak, Marmoush, Mateta. Anyone to change? Nope. Another bog standard wildcard. I mean, the difference you've got is you've got no Crystal Palace defender, which actually is quite interesting as far as wildcards go. But yeah, nothing to change. I like the little difference you've made there. I do like it. Veer says -4 to upgrade Castagna, Hall, Clivert, Gibbs, or Saar. Would not take a -4. I would use the wild card. 717G says noted benchless. My bad. I'm just joking all around, by the way, guys. Like, I'm not actually upset. Callum says, start Wood or Cliver. I'm wild cutting in 31. I just can't see Wood starting. I just cannot see Wood starting. There's no Joao Pedro on the tier list. We can throw Joao Pedro on there. I know a few people have him. Nothing wrong with playing him either, I don't think. Let's put him maybe down here. Grey joggers and a football shirt, the classic work from home uniform. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Like, I have so many pairs of joggers because I only work from home. I never leave the house. Who needs jeans? Not this guy. I have joggers for the winter and I have joggers material shorts for the summer. And that's all I wear all day, every day. And life is good. And the football shirts, of course. Does Arsenal have any double game weeks? Yeah, we can throw that on screen as well. Hold on. Oh, wait. No, that's my face. What am I doing? I've lost my mind. So, there we go. That is the fixture schedule, and it does involve Arsenal with a double game week in game week 33. Scott says, why is there a buzz around Palmer right now? I guess because Jackson is back, and that usually is a very good thing for Palmer. They work really well together and have done for quite some time. Jackson, I know he gets a lot of criticism, but the way in which Chelsea play, Jackson is actually really useful to the team in general, stylistically. So that's a positive for Palmer. And also Palmer just has like pretty good fixtures. We've got Spurs at home next, which is a nice fixture. Brentford in 31, Ipswich in 32. There is some nice little opportunities here. But I think maybe some people may be thinking about moving Palmer to Saka in game week 33 as well. Zuri Warren says, hey Dan, love your videos, especially buy, sell, keep, avoid. Team is Pickford, Gavardio, Munoz, Saliba, Salah, Palmer, Kluivert, Burma, Isak, Wissam, Marmoush. Do I wildcard or hold my nerve until game week 31? I think if you've got one player on your bench who can cover, I think you're fine. Because you've got a little bit of Crystal Palace. You've got Salah ready to go. You've got Marmoush. If you've got a bench cover player, then I think you're good. Burn or Livramento if 4.8 to spend. I think I prefer Livramento. It's just a little bit more interesting. And there's only so much things we can do interesting in a wildcard right now. As I keep mentioning, I know I'm going on and on. But I think, it might... Even if we can find the tiniest of edges, then maybe we should try it. And Nidish says, Kluivert to Saar, also have Palmer, but no Mateta. Yeah, you could do Kluivert to Saar if you're not planning a wild card. That works pretty well. If you don't think Kluivert's going to play, you don't need to make any other transfers. Kirk is on the bench list. I think Kirk is generally is a player that you're probably not going to bench, right? So he would go pretty high. Maybe higher than certainly any other defenders currently on the bench list, right? So they maybe there. To be fair, I feel like I'll play Kirk ahead of Rodgers, even as an Enzo. Maybe even Murphy. You know what? Kirkes there, something like that. It's quite nice. Kirkes or Consa? To buy or to play? Dusty says, hey Dan, love the channel. Thank you very much, Dusty. I have assistant manager through Gameweek 31 and have Palmer and Wood. -4 to transfer out either. Definitely wouldn't take a -4 to transfer out Palmer. Bench cover is Manetzi and Anderson. I don't think it's worth a -4. No. Yeah, I don't think it's worth a -4. I would just stay the course, I think. Wenger says, can I see your team? Of course you can, my friend. I'd be more than happy to oblige. More than happy. I would love to show you my team. Absolutely would love to show you my team. What do you reckon? A few differentials in there, don't get me wrong. But I think this team might work for the next 10 minutes. It might just work for the next 10 minutes. After that, we might make some changes, don't get me wrong. But right now, why not? Only for this game week, who are the best 4 midfielders? 1 max from Man City, Crystal Palace and Man City. 1 from each of Crystal Palace and Man City, or 1 between the two? Well, I mean, guess I'd pick Sarr from Crystal Palace, Savinho from Man City if I can choose 1 from each team. And then I'd pick Salah. After that, it gets a little tougher, right? For this game week only, Semenyo and Palmer. Maybe something like that. Jay Pitt says, I like the Dorgu pick, personally. Yeah, lowest scoring player in FPL this season. But things will change. Things will change. Thoughts on Asensio, rotation risk. What happened with Cliver? He is fatigued. Any Twitter team leaks? Not that I'm aware of. Have you played your wild card? This is my wild card. Is it not obvious? Leaks. No leaks. Yet. Concert or Kirkis as a wild card pick? I think I would go for Concert. Why Jackson? He's the boy. Jackson's the boy, man. Daniel Evil exclaiming Jackson Palmer. Why? It's just information, man. Wenger says, don't April Fool. Is that the date? What? Nah. Is it April 1st today? I didn't even realize that. Wow. Nah. That's tomorrow, isn't it? No one rates your wild card. Why? Why does no one rate my wild card? Name one flaw in this wild card. Just pick one player in this entire team that you think is bad. You will not be able to name one bad player in this entire team. Every single player is reliable, clinical, never gets injured, has never had points unfairly removed by FPL. There's no one like that. There's no player that always scores points whenever they're on your bench, but never scores points when they're in your team. There's no one like that either. There's no one who's overhyped. No one who is a blast from the past and has just not really been a good FPL asset since. There's no one that matches any of those descriptions in this team at all. Not one. Team of trolls, you call it? Team of legends. That's what I call it. Team of heroes. Teams of players that we will remember for the rest of our days. This is not just a team. This is a squad. They're the boys. They play for different teams. They come from different places. But when they come together, they can do it. I believe they can do it. I have faith they can do it. And if you can't see it, that's a you problem, not a B problem. This is my team. This is my squad. This is my wild card. And this will bring home the points and bring home the victory for Team FPL Mate. Because I believe. Anyway, right. What else have we got here? What have we got in the chat? Kick Your Ass says, Henderson, goalkeeper, bench list, love your content channel. Thank you so much, Kick Your Ass. Let's have a look at the bench list and see if we can put Henderson in, because I don't think Henderson is on there, is he? Let's put him. He's going to go pretty high this week. I think I'm going to put him above. Would I put him? I'm going to put him here, I think. I struggle a little bit putting him above Arsenal and Liverpool, but very high. In terms of cheap goalkeepers, he's probably number one this week, right? Is there anything else in here? Kaja says, sell who of Palmer or Mbermo for Sarr or roll? I think I would roll. Bernie says, start Henderson or Kepa along with Munoz. Oh, along with Munoz. If you want to spread the risk a little bit, then I would definitely consider Kepa. In fact, if that's me, from a psychological point of view, I would probably spread the risk and go Kepa. But there's nothing wrong with starting Henderson at all. Nothing wrong at all with that. So it's a consideration. Who to captain? Salah if you're feeling safe. Marmouche if you're feeling risky. I don't know which one. That I would like to go for. I mean, I want to go for Marmouche, but I don't know if I have the cojones to captain Marmouche. Oh my word. We have a leak. Do we have a leak? No, we don't have a leak. No. That, Simon, that Twitter account is an absolute chancer. They just guess. Ignore it. I thought it was a different account you were mentioning there, but no, that's yeah, anyone who says Saka starts, I have nothing from any of my reliable sources saying Saka starts. And the one that you guys have mentioned, I know is a yapper. They're a yapper. It's absolutely fine. Like, people get caught out by these things all the time. But yeah, that's why I'm here to help you guys out, because it's very difficult to sort out what is good information from bad information. You guys don't have the time for this kind of stuff. I totally understand that. It's boring. But yeah, no, I'd be waiting for something more secure. Okay, people still asking to see my team. I mean, I feel like I've shown you my team already, but did anyone miss it? You still haven't seen my team? You want to see it now? You can. It's right there for you. And it is beautiful. So yeah, that's my team. Like, what more do you want? Show us the real team. This is literally my real team, by the way, guys. This is literally my real team. I'm gonna have to make some changes to it, of course. Before deadline. I know what I'm gonna do. But this is my real team. Dan, do you have a podcast? Free promo. Yes, I do have a podcast, actually. How gracious of you to ask. It is called the Stick to FPL Podcast, and it is available on YouTube, Spotify, or all of your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Stick to FPL and subscribe now. Rate 5 stars. But anyway, this is like a slightly different, but I think interesting wildcard draft that I quite like the look of. If you want, you know, a team to wildcard to, I would do something like this if it was me. Francisco says, Wissa to Mateta, Clive to Sarr for free. Going to bring them in wildcard 31. Is it worth go 1 week early, or is it that waste of free transfer. I Wissa to Mateta, I think, is a little luxury. If you want to make these kind of moves, I think it's wildcard time. I think you either roll your transfer or you wildcard. I don't think this is worth 2 free transfers. The information is not worth that much, I don't think. If it was 1 transfer, then fair enough. But to make 2, yeah, not super keen. So we're actually not going with Mateta, damn. Look, I'm just trying to find something different. I like Evan Nilsson for this week more than I like Mateta. And I like the idea of going for Watkins as a differential as well for Southampton in game week 32 and a double in 33 of his own. You know, maybe, you could argue that Aston Villa have a better double game week in 33 than Crystal Palace. And you can still have your triple Palace, you just have it in a slightly different area. So, yeah, this is what I would do. Have you not ruined your team value doing that? Well, that's why I've kept Gabriel and Salah in my team. The thing is, I only decided to wildcard today, so I've not really gone early on any transfers or anything like that, unfortunately. So I actually haven't ruined my team value. My team value was a little bit cooked anyway, but to be fair, my team value was up to over 105 million or something like that. So it's not a huge deal that I'm wildcarding late and not fully taking advantage. But, wildcarding in now is still, today, is still better than wildcarding tomorrow, I guess, because there'll be more price changes tonight, won't there? Game week 31. Cliver leaks. There's not going to be Cliver leaks because Bournemouth don't play today. They don't play until tomorrow. So it's going to be tough to get that information. Still no trustworthy leak on Saka, by the way, guys. I've got nothing that looks concrete that I'm happy with, unfortunately. But we've still got a few minutes. Should we throw the bench list on screen? I will keep looking for Saka news as well. Hopefully we can get something. Even if it's just 1 minute before deadline, that might genuinely fix things. See if we got anything. Any final players for the bench list? Anything final on the bench list? How about Marino as defender? Marino doesn't play in defense. I want to get some Saka news because that will really impact what I do on this wildcard draft. Currently, I think I am going to go for Saka, or is Murphy cover just enough? Because I'm low. If we got a news that Saka definitely isn't starting, which I don't think we will, I think I'll go for Palmer instead. Come on, show us something. How long have we got? Running out of time here, aren't we, guys? Right, I do need to sort out my wildcard team now, for real. Let's just have a look. I just want to see if there's any chance of any news before we lock in. Let's go rid of the bench list. Right, and let's do these transfers. Do transfers page. Saka news. Come on. What the hell? Loading. Oh my god, you're joking. You're actually joking me. It's right. Mobile. I had a feeling this would happen, to be fair, so I can do it on my mobile. Oh my god, my heart's racing now. Maybe this trick wasn't worth it. Right. Crap. I'm like shaking, guys. Yeah, sack it in. Double check for that news. Just before we try and lock this in. Sorry, guys. Right. Finally, Captain Salah on Marmouche. I think I go different on some Marmouche or Salah. It depends who I bring in. Do I go for Saka here? Oh crap. Why is it not saving? Is anyone else getting this? What is going on? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh shit. Did I get it? Did it go in? I don't think it went in. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm cooked. Oh, my season is over. I don't actually know what to do. I don't think it's saved. I had 3 weeks down. Yeah, but I wanted to do the April Fool's joke. I didn't think the server would literally die like a full, 7 minutes before deadline. That is so stupid. Like this is the Premier League. This is a multi-million-pound company. They shouldn't be. They should. They should. The servers should be better. I don't even know what to say at this point. That is so stupid. Well, there we go. Locked in. At least I've got Wildcard Gameweek 31. This could still work, right? We still have Salah. We still have Gabriel. Like, a lot of these players are not that bad. Like Darwin, if Jackson's back against Spurs. Rogers maybe coming on for March. March is not going to play, is he? All right. Shit. Right, okay. I think, to be fair, we've maybe gone on long enough. Haven't we? Absolutely ridiculous. Because obviously, obviously I haven't wildcarded into that team. I mean, come on. Like, let's be completely real for a second. Obviously, it was an April Fool's joke. An April Fool's joke, might I add, with 2 layers. Yes, you thought the first team was the April Fool's, but then we had the additional. We've got layers to the April Fool's this year. So there we go. No, this was not my team. No, I wasn't this unprepared. My team is... Actually, I can't show you it now on screen. I did plan to show you the real team, but I didn't even wildcard. This is my team. Except I captained Marmouche. Hang on, let me show you. This is my team, but with Marmouche captain. I didn't wildcard. You think I'm wildcarding this team? No way. No way. I didn't wildcard at all. I never even clicked the wildcard button. I just edited the HTML on the web page, so it looked like I'd wildcarded. This is all fake. If you click on Dina, it's Kirkes. I just edited the HTML on the page. It's not even real. Click on Solly March. That's Cole Palmer. They're not even real. Oh. We ain't wildcarding, no way. Jose. Greedo says this is why you've only got 1.3k views and other YouTubers have 10k views. Greedo, you're right here, bro. You are right here watching the guy with 1.3k views, and we're having fun. We're having fun. Everyone in the chat like, actually, guys, it's past midday. You're not allowed to fool me anymore. Guys, it's before 12 a.m. somewhere in the world. Somewhere in the world. Actually, you're not allowed to do fools anymore. Can we please refrain from doing any April Fool's jokes after 12? It's not funny after that, actually. Get over it. The joke will be on you when your team outscores your team. Yeah, so true. So true. And like, you know, I think this kind of stuff is fun, right? I think this kind of thing is fun. It's just meant to be a little bit of fun. I feel like I wouldn't like, hopefully this hasn't actually impacted anyone. Maybe the only people who got impacted are people who just logged in for the final minute of the stream, looked at my team and thought, oh yeah, I'll copy that. So there you go. I'm sure some people had a bit of fun with that one. I'm sure I'm sure certain sections of the fun police maybe didn't enjoy that particular joke, but hey, come on, man. It's we like to have a bit of fun with these streams. It's not for everyone. I totally get that, by the way, guys. I totally get that. But we like to have fun here. We like to have fun. That's what it's all about. We ain't changing. We like to make a few jokes. And you know what? If anyone copied that awful Wildcard team, like, there was some people who were thinking, oh, okay, yeah, Dan, it's it's maybe not the perfect Wildcard team, but you've got some good points. Darwin Nunez, Nicholas Jackson, and Hoyland up front, and I've got some good points. Dina and Reece James in defence. If you thought that was a good team and you copied that, oh my word. That's on you, not me. That's on you. FC Thunderbolts is in the bin right now. But that's what we do, man. That's what we do up in here. And like, honestly, hopefully the wildcard team that I was showing throughout the stream on the Hub app, you know, that was a really strong wildcard team, and that is genuinely what I would have wildcarded to if I was to wildcard. But there you go. There you go. That's what we got to do. Roy says you made me triple captain March. Damn, man. I don't think it didn't even do it. Esto said dead giveaway was Jackson captain while flagged. Oh, yeah, but Jackson is available technically. Saka is benched apparently. Oh, rough. Really? Where's that coming from, fella? Something reliable? It doesn't seem to be anywhere. Can't see anything, but hey. Sam says, not gonna lie, I just subbed today, and this April Fool's has been taken too far. Was here at the beginning and knew it was not that funny. An April Fool's joke on April Fool's Day, the most harmless April Fool's joke, is taking it too far. Honestly, if you are taking FPL that seriously, you are in the wrong place right now, my friend. Well, this is meant to be the slightly more light-hearted and fun FPL channel. There are a million super straight-faced, serious FPL channels out there if you wanna watch those kind of people. Like, not naming names or anything, but there's so much out there. You know, today was about fun. I love April Fool's Day, man. I love it. I can't lie to you guys. I love it so much. Oh, it's just meant to be a bit fun. I think most people understand that, but Fun Police, you know where you can go. You can. You know what? Actually, you're on a yellow card. Anyone who thinks that this is too far, how about this for too far? Here's the second yellow. You're off. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're gone. You're gone. Yeah. Someone Captain Jackson. Yeah. Bro Captain Jackson. That's why he's salty. You've taken it too far. You made me Captain Nicholas Jackson. Can you imagine? Oh my god. Honestly, my heart would break a little bit if someone actually did captain, like, wildcard in and captain Nicholas Jackson because of an April Fool's joke. Come on, man. Come on. Surely not. Jasmine says, Chef Dan is cooking. I hope so. Absolute menace. Love your vibes. Keep it up. Thank you, man. I always will. I always will. If Jackson backs a hat-trick now. Can you imagine, man? Can you imagine? Repent says, thanks for a great 1st of April Fool's show. You know what? Like, a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So, like, I'm happy. I'm happy. For first timers, it's kind of cold. Yeah, like, if you're a first-time viewer, I guess. But I was trying to make it fairly obvious that, you know, the whole thing was a joke. And a lot of you guys knew, right? And hopefully it was pretty harmless anyway. Like, I was the butt of the joke. The butt of the April Fool's joke was myself. So, but now I'm so curious to see how that team actually does. Can you imagine if it outscores, like, a lot of people, like, maybe even my main team? It could happen. It could definitely happen. Yeah, we feel for the new viewers. Thankfully, we don't really get new viewers. Oh dear. I'm glad you guys had fun, really. Rishav says, lol, low-key, the Jackson triple captains are people you see with the highest scores because of the random fluke. It's so true, man. It's so true. Like, I wouldn't be totally surprised if Jackson did score this week. But, like, it wasn't meant to be a serious pick. It was meant to be, like, picking, like, the most trolly players in FPL. Like, all of the players who have caused pain in the past. And Jackson is definitely one of those guys. Some guy called Ben says, I've made your prank team on a new account and I'll tweet you the points. Ready for the new Stick to FPL podcast? No way. Wait, you made it before You made it before the deadline. No way. Tweet it. Yeah, definitely tweet that to me. I'd love to see it. Repent Master says, I was fooled for a moment when you walked away saying my season is over. That sounded real. Okay, good. Good. As long as I got you for a little bit. A lot of people saying Saka benched. FPL fella, are you still here? Were you right? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's true. Oh, this was official 5 minutes ago. I didn't even clock that. Damn, okay. Saka is benched. The official announcement of the squad is not out yet, but we're going to get that in a minute. We're going to have a look at it. But it's been leaked that Saka's on the bench. Let's see what happens next. Did anyone go for Saka? Is there any chance I can show the price prediction thingy? I think it updates at the same time as FPL, so it's gonna I don't think it's gonna be available for like another half an hour. You guys started him. Did you start him or bench? And who have you got on your bench? Like, to be fair, if it saves you a transfer later down the line, then this might be it might not all be bad. Like, you'll say now, maybe, oh, I wish that Saka was starting, and of course you do. But certainly, if your other option was to maybe go for Palmer, for example, and Palmer now blanks, but then next week, Saka outscores Palmer by more than 4 points, for example, and you've saved yourself a transfer, then it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. So, yeah. Might not all be bad. I do think Saka does get some minutes today, though. So, if you have started Saka, I would probably not count on your bench players, I guess. Jones says, have you got any new subscribers in the past 2.5 years, man? I mean, in fairness, yeah, like quite a lot. But nah, man, it's not about just about new subscribers. It's about the old subscribers as well. It's always nice to get new ones, but I think FPL content in general is capped to a degree, particularly when you're maybe a little bit more out there. It's like a niche within a niche. But I'm super happy with where the channel's at. Like, super, super happy. We're actually doing better for views this year, certainly in the since Christmas, than we were last year. Last year, like, the seasons trailed off and like people stopped watching FPL videos, but it's actually pretty mad. We seem to be doing quite well this year. So yes, fears that the channel was dying or anything like that. And I have that fear every year. We're going to look at the team news, by the way, guys. Fears that the channel might be dying or whatever have largely gone away. So I'm pretty happy with where we are at, where FPL Mate is at. So much so that, to be fair, like, I'm just happy to be here. You guys know that by now. I don't care about like much. I just like making videos, and I'm very grateful I can do that as a job, and I want to do that for as long as possible. So anyway, Arsenal. The team news. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Party Rice, Erdegaard, Nwaneri starts, Martinelli, and Merino. So no Trossard, no Saka, no other FPL relevant guys. Okay, we'll have a look at some of these other teams. We've got Fulham, who are Arsenal's opposition. OG says, I changed Saka to Palmer 10 minutes before deadline because of something you said, Dan. Thanks. What did I say? Oh, and by the way, remember that leak earlier that said Saka starts? That account, man. The FPL Team Leaks. I think it's called FPL Team Leaks on Twitter. They just tweet random stuff out, and some of it turns out to be true. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Right, Fulham. Bernd Leno, Issa Diop, Anderson, Cuenca, Castagna, Berger, Lukic, Robson. That is such a defensive lineup. What the hell? Traore, Smith Rowe, Jimenez. 5 at the back with 2 DMs. Oh my word. That is... It's a 0-0. It's a 0-0, boys. We already know it's a 0-0. Diego says, nobody can make me Captain Jackson, not even you. Damn, man. That is such a defensive lineup. Shame on you, Fulham. Come out and play. Come on and fight us like a man. Such an outdated phrase, but for the sake of the quote. Right, for Wolverhampton Wanderers, Semedo, Doherty, Aguado, Totti, Aït-Nouri, Andre, Gomez, Menezzi, Bellegarde, Strand, Larson. Nothing too interesting here in terms of FPL. Everyone who we expect to start is starting. As for West Ham, Areola, Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Kilman, Creswell, Skulls, Ward-Prowse, Paqueta, Gillam, Bowen, Ferguson. Ooh. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Right. Well, there you have it. Nathan Ferguson. Nathan Ferguson. That is a throwback to cheap FPL 4 million defenders. Why did I call him that? Evan Ferguson is starting for West Ham. I'm super curious to see how that goes. I mean, obviously, I'm going to watch Arsenal, but that's going to be such a boring game, man. Arsenal Fulham is going to be so boring. Let's see how it goes, though. But Bowen starting. Bowen not up front, which is a little unfortunate, but it's not all bad. So there we go. The game. Oh, Arsenal not on TV. Oh no! What on earth will I do? How am I going to watch that one? I guess I'll just have to watch a different game. Forest Man United is at 8. I mean, that is obviously the most interesting fixture tonight, isn't it? What's my wildcard? I didn't wildcard, man. I made one free transfer, Haaland to Marmoush, and then I captained Marmoush. So, yeah, I'm massively going against the grain, but I'm feeling very risky at this point of the season, to be perfectly honest with you. Edit the HTML on the TV. Very good, Rob. Very good. Maybe I should do that. Right click, inspect element, change channel. just change all of the shirts to the different graphics. You know what? By the way, just before we go off, because we have been streaming for like 3 hours now. This is like, this took so long. I had to go into each individual players. Can I show you inspect element on this? Does it show? Yeah, that's showing up on screen. So I had to go through all of these, and I had to find all of the shirt images for the different teams within the HTML of other web pages and insert them in. Obviously, with Jackson, I had to change the color because I think this is... Who is this? It's Haaland, because I did this before I made the Haaland to Marmoush transfer. I made this up. Put this up. So yeah, I had to change the color because Jackson has a different level of injury on that one. I tried to fix this wildcard button, but I really was struggling. It took me ages. I couldn't get it to look realistic, but I mean, I just changed the text here to say active and changed the icon here. Because I couldn't work out how to do it properly. Maybe someone smarter than me would probably know how to do it, but I don't know that much about HTML. And there you go. And that way, I could just change all of the players in my real team to make it look like I was on a wild card, even though when you actually click on all of these players, they're all completely different guys. They're just got a different, like, face on them. I didn't do any of the back end stuff because, I mean, Christ, I don't even know how long that would take. Salah is Salah, to be fair. But anyway, so I know some people didn't appreciate the joke, but it was a reasonably high effort troll. It was a reasonably high effort troll. Or should we end the poll? Yeah, we can end the captain poll finally now, right? And the poll results are for Game Week 30 captain: 74% Salah, 20% Marmoush, 3% Mateta, and 2% other. So, yeah, a Salah and Marmoush dominated. 2% is Jackson. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe 2% is just me on Jackson, right? So there we have it. There we have it. Right, guys. I need to head off because Mrs. FPL Mate will be... Oh, no. She's going to be late back from work. I was going to say I need to start cooking dinner. Actually, I can chill out a little bit. Just need to figure out what I'm going to cook, though. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to hop off, guys. But appreciate you guys watching and joining me for a little bit of fun. It's a particularly fun deadline stream today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you had some fun as well. And like if you want to. Subscribe as well. We're going to be back. I'm going to be hitting my wildcard button like today. So hopefully we're going to be hitting you with a wildcard draft. Probably tomorrow, to be fair. It's not, my wildcard is not going to be locked in tomorrow, but I'll show you some initial thoughts. It's going to be pretty similar to Game Week 30 wildcards, most likely. But we'll do a first wildcard draft for Game Week 30. 31, sorry, and we'll put that up tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to be Game Week 31 wildcard. Maybe some of you guys are too. I think we'll all be in a similar pathway, though. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Really do appreciate you guys, as always. Always have a great time chatting to you guys and doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for another video. We'll be back for videos all week, streams at the weekend. I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.